So let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry, step right on in. Can't afford to pass it by, guaranteed to make you cry. Let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry, step right on in. Can't afford to pass it by, guaranteed to make you cry. See the man with a broken heart, you see that he is sad. He hurts so bad, so bad, so bad. See the girl who lost the only love she ever had. And that's backwards, but I don't care. Welcome to another edition of Sideshow. A lot on my mind because there's so much happening in the news, too much to try to type about, so I thought I would get on here and try to talk about some of these things. Put my glasses on, I can see Craig Kennard. Robert Porter, what's up? Michael J. Miller, what's happening? Hello, Marie. Hedge Patch, good to see you all. So I wanted to start off by talking about, hey, Michael James, glad you joined in. I wanted to start off by talking about this pop tax, Tony Taxwinkle. I'm sorry, her name is Tony Preckwinkle. What's up, Robert Porter? Hey, man. Tony Taxwinkle. We'll call her Tony Preckwinkle. But she's a woman who looks like she's always daydreaming of a new tax. Remember, she got in based upon her opposition to Todd Stroger's 1 cent tax. And now she has implemented this pop tax. She and Fooey Chewy, her floor leader. And it's a very controversial tax because, first of all, in most states, most counties, they don't charge people tax for groceries and medicine. So because this is a regressive tax that hurts poor people, I have a real problem with it. The city of Chicago, county of Cook, already have the highest taxes of any city, any county in the nation. And now they're just inventing new taxes. And rather than tax rich people with a luxury tax, things like yachts and services that only the rich spend their money on, and things like, Rolex watches, they'd rather hit poor people. But the reason they hit poor people is because poor people can afford to fight back. Poor people don't have lobbyists. Poor people don't have lawyers that go after them. So that's why they hit poor people. So anyway, Tony Taxwinkle, a woman who looks like she's always daydreaming of a new tax, and Fooey Chewy throw this tax on people. And it really hasn't hit home yet. People don't really realize the effect it's going to have. You have a lot of people who say, oh, I'm going to run to Indiana, and I'm going to get gas, and I'm going to play at the casino. Well, first of all, you're going to lose all your money at the casino, unless you get lucky. And if you get lucky, let me know, because I want part of it. I want my cut. And I'm going to buy my groceries in Indiana. How often can you do that? You're going to get sick and tired of running to Indiana to buy your groceries. Additionally, your children whom you give money to, they're going to go to McDonald's. And when they go to McDonald's, they're going to have a pop, and they're going to pay that tax. Excuse me. They're going to pay that tax. So there's no escaping it. You got to either stand up and fight back or just admit that you're spineless. So I prefer to stand up and fight back. So we have a group that's called No Pop Tax. And our goals are simple. Our goal is to get people to drink juice instead of pop, because juice, 100% fruit and vegetable juice with no artificial sweeteners, is not taxed at 1 cent an ounce. I can't suggest water because in the city of Chicago, Rahm has a 5 cents bottle tax on water. So we're not trying to make him rich. The truth is, the county, the city, they're just wasting people's money. Rahm has this program called direct voucher payments, where he can give his friends and family unlimited amounts of money with no contract, no paperwork, no explanation. They don't have to promise to do anything. And I know people say, oh, that's crazy. That's not true. Look it up. It's real, and he does it all the time. He does it for his campaign contributors. They don't even have to say that they did anything in exchange for the money. So the things that he's doing are criminal. And at the same time, he's closing down mental health clinics, closing down schools. He's cutting back on city services. We got to stand up. We got to fight back. We can't allow him to just take advantage of it. Hey, Janine. Mark Bowman, glad you joined us. Liddell Rick McDaniel. Hey. Timmy Claire, glad you joined in. Rochelle Bell, I see you. Maureen Stewart, glad you're here. Hey, Melvin. A lot of you all, we get to debate and argue back and forth on Facebook, and it's a whole lot of fun. I enjoy that more than anything throughout the course of my day. So I sneak to Facebook. I was about to call it fake book. I sneaked it, but my friends are real. As you know, I try to wish everybody a happy birthday and celebrate their special day. Robert Porter, what's up, bro? Tiffany Clark, hey, Quentin Evans, Al Jones. Al's got a campaign going. Al, you funny. I appreciate you, man. I like that billboard that you put up. That's funny. I haven't committed to running for mayor of the city of Chicago. As you all know, the election is almost a year and a half, 2 years away. And we got a lot of work to do on this gubernatorial race. I'm supporting Teal Hardeman until he decides that he is not running. But as long as Teal is running, he's a black man who's qualified, as qualified as any of the others. And I know that if he got in, he would do the right thing. So you all can go and do what you want to do with the rest of those guys, Pritzker and Kennedy and Bliss. I'm not with all that. I'm running with Teal Hardeman at this point in time for governor of Illinois. Last time in the last election, he got 30% of the vote. Now, a lot of that was an anti-Quinn vote, but still in all, he earned 30% of the vote. So I'm rolling with Teal Hardeman until the wheels fall off. Hey, Regina Jones. Regina and I went to Tuskegee together, and we studied for law school together. We studied our LSAT together. Some hard, tedious studying because we didn't have the advantage of taking a class in Auburn or Montgomery. It was just too far to travel. So she and I got it done, and we did real well. We both did extremely well on the LSAT. That's the law school admissions test. Quentin Evans, glad you're here. So I was saying the pop tax. So our goal is to make it a dud. If we can get enough people to avoid buying tax, and that means, some people are going to go to Indiana and buy their pop occasionally. Even if you do it 50% of the time, that helps. Even if you drink juice instead of pop, that helps. Because they count on that tax. They think they can raise $200 million next year. We have to show them that they can't raise $200 million at our expense. So we're either going to get used to drinking something that's good for us, or we're going to pay a tax that's only good for them. And the key is in life, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And if you're not poor now, by the time they finish taxing you, you will be poor, because this tax leads to the next tax, which leads to the next tax. Let me address taxing real quickly. Governor Rauner is going to veto SB 1, Senate Bill 1. Senate Bill 1 is the bill that will reform education funding. Out of the 102 counties in Illinois, only Cook County has a different funding formula. They need the same fund. We in Cook County need the same funding formula as everyone else. Rahm is not going to do that. Our schools are in trouble. So the only way that Rahm, who's wasting all our money, is going to be able to open the schools is to add another tax. Remember, I said earlier, for those of you who weren't there, here, Chicago, Cook County, we pay the highest retail tax in the country. There's no place that pays a higher retail tax. So we can't allow them to just continue to tax us, and think that eventually they're going to get tired. No, they don't get tired of taking our money. And if you're not poor now, you'll be poor by the time you finish with them. So Tony Taxwinkle and Fui Chewy, her floor leader, who pushed this tax on us, we have to show them that it's not going to work. So don't buy pop. Drink juice. Tell your children, drink juice. Get them accustomed to it. We're either going to get used to drinking something that's good for us, or we're going to pay a tax that's only good for them. All right, now, let's turn to Trump real quickly. Trump is so stupid. This man is an idiot personified. The White House is now officially the Fright House. It's scary, the things that he's doing. He's surrounding himself with generals, and that's really dumb, Carol Hicks, because generals are war hawks, and they like power. They like taking over. Hey, Dwayne Richmond. Hey, Nina Halls Trumbull, friends from way, way back. Ronald Waiters, what up, huh? Humble Honey, talented writer. So these generals that he's bringing in are eventually going to see how stupid he is, and they're going to take advantage of him. They're going to hold him up, put him in the basement, lock him in the basement, and start running the government themselves and just say, oh, Trump has a cold. Yeah, they'll do that. Generals are sneaky. They have to be. They have to talk out of both sides of their mouths. He's got a problem already with Glenn because with his chief of staff, because his chief of staff called Comey after Trump fired him and told him he was so angry he thought about quitting himself in protest. So Trump is going to have a real problem with him. You know how Trump is. He doesn't like anybody anyway. Anybody gets any media attention. And so he's going to go after this dude because he can't share the spotlight. Kelly is not a joke. He's nobody to play with. So you're going to see them bumping heads. It was fun to watch the Mooch. The Mooch was a character. The Mooch came out and he said he was going to fire everybody. He was running. I don't know if you all saw that video of him trying to act just like Donald Trump, but that's some funny video. You got to watch it. It's only 20 seconds long. I put it up on my page. I don't think many people watched it. That is a funny video that you have to watch. He made all of Trump's hand gestures and, put his hand in his head. So he's been trolling and studying Trump. And that's why Trump got rid of him, because he's stupid. Mooch, he came in cussing everybody out, cussed Steve Bannon out. Now, that's the mistake. You can get away with cussing out Reince Priebus, but Steve Bannon, that is Trump's racist boy. It don't get no tighter than the two of them. Sessions was in with them, but Trump got mad with Sessions. Sessions used to be head of the KKK or a head of the KKK. So those are the kinds of people that we have running our government. How do you make a person who was a Ku Klux Klan member your attorney general who's in charge of the laws of the United States? That shows you that this is a sick and twisted administration. Now they leaked the White House record of Trump's conversation with the Mexican president. And Trump was begging and pleading, oh, please, just, go along with me. Don't say that you're not going to pay for the wall. You don't have to really pay for it. I just need to trick my people. He's a trickster, a slickster. He's a conniver. He's a con man. He's engaged in Ponzi schemes. You don't know where this man is going to land. He steps on his own toes every single day just because. He doesn't like himself. He really doesn't. But the reason is because he has dementia. Trump has dementia. Believe it. He has dementia. I think they have him on medication to try to, keep him balanced throughout the course of the day. And that's why he wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning tweeting and talking real crazy. So he was begging the Mexican president. And he said, no, I ain't playing your little silly game. Tangeray! I see you all out there. I'm glad you all tuned in. I haven't done a sideshow in a minute. This is an interesting one. What's up, PC? PC Sanderson. Jedediah Brown, you did a great job with your forum the other day, man. We need more of that. We have to educate people and inform people and bring people up to speed. Hey, Barbara Cameron, and Rick Jackson. Carl Anthony Fisher. What's up, man? Carla Dennis, good to see you. Glad you all joined in. But we're in real serious trouble because Trump is going to do as much damage as he possibly can do. And there's very little that we can do to stop him. The only good thing about that is we Republicans are starting to get sick and tired of him. They realize many of them got more votes in their district than Trump got in their district. So it was reverse coattails. Typically what happens is the presidential candidate gets the most votes and the Republican or the representatives and the senators get fewer votes. Well, that was not the case in this election, and we know why, because the Russians strategically hacked into our system and caused 10,000 votes to flip here and 10,000 votes to flip there. That's all it takes in a whole state. Look at the numbers, a 5,000 vote difference in some of those states. And that's Trump won. And that's why he's so scared. And if you notice, he will say bad things about everybody, even his most loyal supporters like Sessions, but he will not say anything bad about Putin. Putin has that PP tape, and it must be really bad. I'm not just making that up. There's a PP tape of Trump in a Russian hotel with some hookers, and there's a lot of PP floating around, and Trump is floating in PP. So his wife probably told him if she ever sees that PP tape, she's going to divorce him. So he does not want Putin to come out with the PP tape. Shame on Trump. He ought to conduct himself a whole lot better. So there's a whole lot going on. This thing about Trump and his Department of Justice going after reverse discrimination. That's an attempt to take over a lot of schools, including black colleges and universities. HBCUs better be careful because it's a land grab. That is valuable land. And Trump would love nothing more than to chase out the administrations, take over those schools, and ultimately use that land for other purposes. We know he's a real estate developer and he loves land. So those are some of the things that are happening that I want to talk to you all about. The other thing is Stephanie Trussell. I saw she's a friend of mine on Facebook. She's a Republican, a real conservative. She's a radio talk show host. And Stephanie rode through the neighborhood with her video camera rolling. She rolled into the Latino community and then rolled into the black community. And she was wondering why in the black community we have vacant lots everywhere. It's real simple. Rahm has a program called Fast Track Demolition of Housing. Look it up. Fast Track Demolition of Housing. And that allows him to go into court immediately and say that we are afraid that this house is going to be used for gang activity, so we want to tear it down. They don't do that on the north side. They don't do it on the northwest side. They don't do it on the southwest side. They only do that on the south and west sides of the city of Chicago. They don't do it in the Latino community. And you know there are gangs in the Latino community as well. But they do it exclusively in the black community because they don't want us living in those houses. They want to destroy our housing stock. And he's doing a real good job of it. He's destroying our housing stock so that we don't have a place to live. And the rent goes up because it's supply and demand. The fewer the number of houses that are available, the higher a landlord can charge for rent. So he's strategically running us out of the city of Chicago. We have one last chance to win, to get rid of him. It's going to take a 50-ward strategy. And that means that you have to appeal to blacks, whites, Latinos, and Asians. And you have to have a program that makes sense. But most importantly, you're going to have the dollars to match one. In the last election, he spent $100 million to win that office. And he is rewarding his friends because the mayor makes millionaires, but he turns millionaires into billionaires. So I'm looking forward to somebody, if it's not me, somebody going into that office, John Weekly, Rochelle Bell, going into that office, Maureen Stewart, and turning things around and being fair with the distribution of those funds. We need some black millionaires in Chicago. We need 1 or 2 black billionaires coming out of Chicago. We deserve it. So with that, I'm going to say good night. I've got a call I have to get on at 7 o'clock, but it's been a joy. Well, 9 o'clock, but it's been a blast. You all take it easy. Peace. Let the sideshow begin.